All right, I got that one open as well. Record it. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, I need to do I don't know, Brent joined in here. I need to look into that the old one tap hotkeys. I know there's software to do it. I just I have a lot of other things that I've been doing. But the there's software out there that you can just press buttons, right? And then bam, it just goes right live, go live or post or and I got to get with the times. I'm on futuristic technology when it comes to trade vision, but behind the times on social media. All right, deal. All right, guys. I'm just gonna open up everything a little bit early. Do you guys have any other specific questions? Be nice. We'll be early on this one. All right, we rocking and rolling, guys. I got Neo over here. Let's let him talk.
The market has decisively rejected the 1-minute Lisma at
Let's get the flow.
29,220.9 and is now pressing back toward the recent session lows, confirming that bearish sentiment remains firmly in command as sellers continue to defend overhead liquidity. Div sentiment. Bearish pressure, div confidence. 8 out of 10,
He's got
div
a.
reason.
He's supposed to
Price
be.
has printed red high Kinashi candles and is trading beneath all critical structural indicators,
Never mind.
including the 1-minute anchored VWAP of 29,260.53 and the 5 minutes Lisma of 29,254.1. The persistent negative slope on both the 1-minute and 5 minutes Lisma levels demonstrates that selling conviction is sustained and broad-based. Div concerns. The market is approaching the 29,197 low, and a failure to hold this level could trigger a fresh wave of liquidation. Alternatively, low pre-event volume may result in localized bounce attempts that fail at resistance. Div long entry option. None, as the current macro structural alignment is aggressively bearish and there is no evidence of structural support or bullish divergence to warrant a long-side engagement. Div short entry option. A short entry is preferred on a confirmed breakdown and hold below the 29,200 round number support, targeting the 29,140 HTF support level, provided price continues to respect the downward sloping macro resistance indicators. Div3 summary. Bearish momentum is re-intensifying as the
Okay, let
market
me.
rejects recovery attempts. Traders should maintain a disciplined, short-biased outlook and manage risk tightly while awaiting the 3-0 MEDT economic release as the definitive catalyst for the next directional move. H3.
I'm gonna open up, guys, real quick. The message. I'm gonna send this over to Alex. So he, one of the things we did on the updates, it did the little check marks right there. And so remember, I was saying with this type of feed, he reads everything, and so it says divida, 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 because of the check marks. And I keep forgetting to tell Alex. So let me I put a little note in there. Morning, guys. Morning, morning, morning. Yeah. Thanks, Dad. Appreciate it. Let me put that in there. Put a little pinned comment here. Like that. Pinned. All right. Guys, we're a little early. Love it. Okay. We're good. Let me get my counts up that I want to do. All right, guys, we are good, man. Let's just jump into some early TA here. I'm gonna mute little stream Neo we got going, so that way we can get through a few things. So I'm a little bit early. We'll just call it the old early bird gets the worm. But when you come into here, guys, we're just looking at the macro side of it from our pre-market. What we were talking about, we're still looking pretty bearish, guys. We have our structures here. I know we had a deep push there. That was kind of expected. We talked about, as we got that breach, that likely if we can hold above this, it's going to jump. We did. We had NVIDIA news. There was a lot of expectations of that. The overall FOMC meeting minutes came out more hawkish, right? So it's more bearish, and so the market resilience continues to fascinate me, even though we are getting some decent polls because of the fact that uh, we've had so far CPI bearish. We've had PPI came out really bearish. We have the change of the chair. We got, the meeting minutes basically said that they didn't like the rise in CPI, and there was more talk about potentially even raising interest rates versus, lowering them or keeping them same, right? And so all those things are just not great, right? And so normally in normal instances, y'all, like that would absolutely have floored us, and we would be down in these levels here. Um, AI and the hopeful of the oil and stuff being the primary impact of the CPI, right? I think is just what's keeping everything up a little bit. So, but yeah, as you come into here, right? I mean, again, you can see we had a deep little push, but we also couldn't break past that shoulder. So anything that stays below this 480, guys, is going to have some violent pulls, right? To me, again, this is my speculation, if you will. Little TA. I don't want to say it's not an TA involved, right? But this red line here, we put this up there a long time ago because kind of, so I think it was somewhere in here. It was the only move from a measure move standpoint that we can kind of do to calculate a potential high, right? And so it wasn't really anything fancy. We just took the low of this up to where the prior all-time high was, and then we stacked that onto the breakout. That's all that was. And we did that back here. And so pretty cool to see that it actually came up to that high, right? Very cool. So um, that's the high. Now it's a matter of, are we going to retest this and then pull back down? But aside from any crazy news, it's a pretty good likelihood that that is going to probably remain, or that area is going to remain to be our high. Now, for us to come up and retest it, it's very possible, right? We have this structure that we broke. You can see it, right? We have this really deep uptrend structure, and as this kind of came down here, we began our descent, but we held our support, right, which pushed us back above the kind of trend channel that we were forming there. So, you guys know I talked about this a while ago, where when you come into here and you actually try to find a top, the market likes to do a widespread kind of distribution phase, right, where we're going to just do up, down, right? And so it's not shocking me that we got a lot of um, pretty high swings, right? Very possible on that. So I appreciate you doing that, Savi. I never really thought about doing that. One thing, just a suggestion I'll tell you, because TikTok hates it, is I would leave the .com out. It eventually it'll mute your stuff where they won't see it. It doesn't like website promoting. So usually,
Gotcha.
what it likes better, I appreciate that you doing that, but what it likes better is if you say like, check out the bio, or like the name, right? But yeah, I don't know. I've tried that back in the day when I used to spam that on the other one. But appreciate that. That's kind of cool. I love that. That awesome job. The So yeah, guys. Again, I'm still, bearish in the fact that I think we're gonna have more downside than upside. Do I think we can have one more little hoorah? Of course, right? We are still break of the trend line downward, and you guys know we can break it downward, and still come all the way up to here for a retest and still be bearish, right? If somehow the news or the strength has enough to push us back up to that range, I think it's going to be a pretty nasty ass rejection from it. So I've been prioritizing mostly shorts. As long as I'm below this structure that held through this ridiculous run, right? I mean, think about this structure held from 22.9, y'all, like, uh, and we broke it, and it's not even a question of whether we broke it or not. We broke it. Like, this is a clean channel. Um, can I adjust something there? I probably, it's so deep, I wouldn't even try to adjust it, right? I would just try to find another angle. A lot of times when you want to do like a Ganfan style, you go to the next oscillation and you can do something like that. We can add that as a white line. I'm not going to color it just so I can not put a lot of weight on it. Um, but it gives you, because we have a nice little bounce there, it gives you another possible floor. We could come down, hit that, and then jump, pretty hard if possible. So let's jump into it, guys. But again, I would prioritize more shorts than longs. At least that's my plan. When you come into the 4 hour, you can see, the way that the structure is pushing. We did come down. We had a lot of buy pressure, a lot of indecision. We did get a close above that, right? So, theoretically, with us closing above this and us closing above that, right, it should go up a little bit more, right? So that's why I'm not really surprised if we get it back up to 480. I wouldn't even be surprised if we get all the way to this 600, 700, right? But you know, I can be aggressive as a trader when I need to be and when I want to be, but um, I can also be very patient when I need to be and when I want to be. And that's the biggest part of trading, guys, is that a lot of people like to rush things. And we try to treat the day as the same, right? We want to sit down and use the same strategy, the same aggressiveness, the same all this. And that is not a good plan, right? Because not every day is the same. It's going to be different. And so when you're trading, you want to make sure that you have um, a little understanding of where we are in the range, right? Where the potentials are, how big the swings could be, and stick with your plan. Days like today, I'm not opposed to going long, but I need some strict rules to happen, right? I need this sucker to come all the way back into here, right? I want it to come all the way back into here. And then on the reclaim of that 077 or 248, then I'll go long, right? Because then I have a confirmed pullback and I'm reclaiming it with some steam. Then I'm down. Anything short from that, guys, we'll watch market open as it comes in. I don't care how high this thing goes. I probably won't even touch along with the 10-foot pull, right? On that, because I think that us having such a nasty push that cannot break this shoulder, right, for the past, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 candles of 4 hours is not very bullish. So just be careful. But we'll see how it treats it. We're in a very conflicted state in the market because you have things like the hopeful of the oil and the Iran stuff going on, coming to an end, which is holding it up, because that's going to help the oil prices and stuff is what everybody's hopeful on. But then also you have a lot of bad news, right? CPI, PPI was terrible. FOMC notes were hawkish, right? Like there's not, from an overall economic standpoint, y'all, like it's not good right now, right? And so news, and so um, we'll see. What eventually the AI part is going to run out. So for the pre-market guys, I had this stream up. We were watching that. Um, we do have TradeVision that you can use as well. He is live. This stream here, you guys can do for free for anybody who wants to do that on the website. All you have to do is just go in. It's NEO AI sessions, and then you can watch them. So, and it's free. You don't have to link a card or nothing. So, but I'm gonna move that one over to the side, you guys, and let's bring up the big dog. Um, where did I have it? I think I have it behind my TikTok. Yeah. This is the big dog, Trade Vision. So Trade Vision, all right, is going to be what we're going to use to ask questions, help us, guide us. He's a coach, mentor, um, at times, depending on what setting you got, marriage counselor. I'm going to zoom it in a little bit so some of y'all can see the settings and things a little bit better. Let's see if I can stretch it a little. There we go. So we are trading the M and Q, but let me show you a couple things we can do with TradeVision that is absolutely awesome. So once we open market open, right, we can ask him to give us status updates on things like Nvidia, Microsoft, Google, Meta, whatever, and he's going to remember whatever you got going on in that session. So if I ask him, like yesterday, we were playing with it. I said we have Nvidia earnings going on, and can you let me know if you see any, crazy flip in the Nvidia bearish pressure, right? Or buy pressure. And he said, absolutely, right? I'm going to remember that. And Jim, it's the nextstepalgo.com on that. He was posting that, but then you can also check out my bio. All that stuff's in there. But yeah, if you just go to nextstepalgo.com on that. Um, TikTok doesn't tend to like it when people spam websites, so I asked them not to put that. Uh, but yeah, so guys, TradeVision is live. I keep getting the messages from people because I know a lot of people are excited for him to be out of beta. He's live. Anybody can get him now. You just go to the website. You guys can see it on my screen here if you can. It's just nextupago.com. Click on TradeVision, and then you can sign up. So you got all the plans in here. You can test out his personalities on that. And so when you go in here, you're just going to hit the preview. We have everything from friendly, institutional, beginner, if you're brand new, right? You can
Price
browse
is near an important area. Instead of rushing, wait to see if it can stay above that level.
So you can do a little preview, play on it. This is the most, no matter how much I try to keep it very professional with everybody, everybody wants sarcastic.
Sure, buying straight into resistance is a bold strategy. The market always loves teaching expensive lessons.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of different personalities in there, right? And we have two plans, guys. He's not expensive. It's $50 if you want the basic, 250 if you want the pro. Primary difference is if you do the pro, you get futures, stocks, as well as crypto. If you're doing the basic, right, you get the futures, which is because that's mostly what we trade on the prop firms, anyways. And so I want to make sure at least y'all have that. So but the logic doesn't change. So, but yeah, this is Neo, guys. Welcome. You guys got multiple personalities within Neo. I'm gonna keep them on advanced for now, um, and just to keep it all fresh. I'm gonna keep the responses to normal. I may flip it to quick just because we're gonna be live trading, so you can kind of spit out the important parts, right, without the extra. And at times, I'm going to refer to Neo as to what he thinks, right? And so you can literally, because the futures are open, we can ask him, "Hey Neo, I'm actually getting ready to start trading with my community. I'm going to be trading M and Q. So for this entire session, let's reference everything with M and Q, but I'm going to check other pairs or not pairs, symbols at time, right? That I want you to reference too. So let's have a great day. Can you give me a little update on the market as we prepare for market open?"
It's great to have you on board, and I'm ready to help you navigate MNQ today. We'll stick to MNQ for your session, and I'll keep an eye on whatever other symbols you throw my way. MNQ is currently sitting at 29,191.56, hovering inside a 5-minute bullish order block. While we have a bearish bias on the 1-minute and 5-minute timeframes, we are holding above the 0.618 Fibonacci level at 29,181.25. Given the proximity to the US market open, I'd suggest patience. Wait for the first 15 minutes of volatility to subside before looking for a confirmed structural shift. Are you looking to focus on a specific strategy for the open, like ORB plays, or waiting for a trend to establish?
So again, for those that are new to that, he's going to give you that kind of welcoming. You can set whatever parameters you want with them, guys. That was the biggest thing. We did a class last night on how to kind of maximize his usage. And guys, y'all can ask him anything. It's if you're not sure, just ask him, right? You can ask him to. We were playing with it yesterday where we flipped them to Nvidia, and I said, "Hey, can you let me know, if Nvidia flips to a 1 hour bearish candle, right, while I'm trading MNQ, or will you let me know if anything you see in Nvidia is going on that I should be concerned about while trading MNQ?" And he'll say, "Yeah, noted," right, watching Nvidia, and so it's pretty cool. Like the 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 biggest thing I'm noticing that people aren't doing is you guys don't realize the links of what he can do. He's not an indicator, y'all. He's not everybody's always in a search of, get that best indicator out there that's going to help you be professional. Neo's not an indicator. He is true AI. He's customized, built. He's going to remember a lot of your stuff, sessions, things like that. Uh, you can tailor it to however you want, right? So watch, I'm going to tell him. No, that sounds good. One of the strategies I like to do is I like to micro scalp within US Open because the volatility is a little crazy. So when I ask you for setups with targets, can we aim for things that are around a 10 to 20 point move?
Understood. We'll aim for 10 to 20 point scalps to capture that US Open volatility. Focusing on these smaller moves helps you capitalize on the aggressive momentum shifts while keeping your risk tight. MNQ is currently testing the 0.618 Fibonacci level at 29,181.25, while also holding inside a bullish 5 minutes order block. With sell pressure at 28.61% and the price remaining below the 1-minute Lisma at 29,199.25, the immediate path shows bearish intent despite the structural support. Given the confluence of support, I would wait for a confirmed reclaim and hold above the 1-minute Lisma before considering any long scalp. Conversely, if we see a clear break and expansion below the 29,179.00 support zone, we have a clean path for a short scalp toward the next liquidity level. Does that level of confirmation align with your current scalping process?
I'm letting Alex know. So we have I'm logged into him as admin. So guys, we have market open. Let's kick over to that. But I put him on quick, and man, he definitely did give me quick. So I think with admin it opens it up, and so he's going to give some longer responses, but I'll mute him as needed. So let's take a look at open, guys. We got ding, ding, ding. So those that kind of joined earlier, right when we were talking about that, let's see where we go. We got a nice little push north from the bell. A lot of things need to clear here, right, before I would consider this really bullish. But this is an interesting kind of structure, right? Remember, we just talked about this through some of the models we were looking at. On the 5 minute, we got a nice little chop range. Notice how we swept that low pretty well. If this 5 minute can somehow reclaim this upper area, that 280, it's going to explode really hard. And so that's what we'll kind of watch for our high. I'm thinking somewhere around 292 to 306 would be our target liquidity, right? Where we would look for, right? And so if 292 ends up hitting and rejecting, that's going to come back pretty nasty, right? But if because if it can reclaim this low, but it can't reclaim that high, then it tends to have an inverse, right? And we have a deep drop. Anything short of that, it's gonna push. So we want to watch that really closely. When you're looking at the 5 minute here as well, we can see we had a breach of our 5 minute Lisma, which is this purple line for those that can see that. Um, and that's right around 237, right? 29, 237. And so that breach typically follows up with a rear back. So that's what we're seeing. We just had a little push with the breach. Now we're in the rear back. So we need to see where does this settle, right? So now that we have the market open, I'm going to give it probably 2 to 3 minutes, and I'm going to check with Neo on things like Nvidia, to see how it's doing after the earnings. And then we'll check a couple of the other stuff and have him alert us if there's any kind of change or issues with it, right? Um, in the meantime, right, we just got to let market open settle. So um, I'm more prioritizing shorts than I am longs. If it just jumps on us, I'm totally cool with that. I'll be patient, right? Because from a macro level, we're still in a very bearish state. Macroeconomics wise, we're in a very bearish state, right? So I think the sweeps south are going to come pretty harsh, right? But it doesn't mean that we can't jump up pretty well. So you just got to be patient on that point. So, but we can check with Neo. Let's check and see what Nvidia is doing. Hey Neo, I'm going to be trading M&Q. Can you give me an update on Nvidia though, and how that's looking? Is it bullish or bearish on the high time frames?
NVDA is currently presenting a mixed structural profile. While the 15 minutes, 1 hour, 4H, and 1-day timeframes show a bullish angle, the price is currently trading below the 1 minute, 5 minutes, and 15 minutes EMAs. This indicates that while the higher timeframe trend retains a bullish bias, the immediate short-term momentum is decisively bearish as it struggles to hold above the 0.618 Fibonacci level at 221.76. Given the price is currently inside an active 15 minutes bullish order block and facing strong sell pressure, 27.99% buy fraction, I would view this as a potential trap or consolidation zone rather than a clear trending environment. I'd watch for a clean break and hold above the 1-minute Lisma at 222.69 for any bullish conviction, or a breakdown below the 15 minutes order block floor at 220.50 to confirm a bearish continuation.
Sounds good. I flipped back to MNQ. Can you remember the NVIDIA stuff? Also, can you alert me if NVIDIA flips to buy pressure or sell pressure that could possibly impact MNQ while I'm trading it?
I've logged your request. I'll keep a close eye on NVDA's buy, sell pressure and let you know if a significant shift occurs that could spill over into MNQ. MNQ is currently at 29,212.19, trading inside a bearish order block while attempting to reclaim the 29,215.00 trend line. With 71.78% buy volume, we're seeing some aggressive absorption, but I'd wait for a confirmed break and hold above the 29,246.00 ORB high before pushing for that 10 to 20 point scalp.
Appreciate it. I'm going to watch the market mostly on the micro, the 15-second, to see if I can isolate the movement and the pressure. And then I'll ask you if I have any questions on how that bullish pressure is changing. So, do you see a significant increase in the bullish pressure, or can you let me know on the next questions if you see a change in that bullish pressure to more seller pressure?
I'll keep a sharp eye on the buy fraction and alert you immediately if the bullish pressure begins to fade or flips towards selling. We are currently at 78.6% buy pressure with price testing the 29,234.25 to 29,255.25 resistance zone. So watching for exhaustion here is a smart move. Using the 15-second time frame to confirm that pressure shift is excellent for timing those 10 to 20 point scalps. Just let me know if you want a volume or pressure check, and I'll pull the latest data for you.
And then what we're going to do, guys, so this is my 15-second chart I'm looking over here. So when I do these open sessions, guys, I'm kind of doing it where I'm going to integrate a little bit into um, asking Neo things, right? So you guys can see the capabilities of what he can do. So those in the community that are trading live with us right now, you guys already know, just kind of pick up on the keywords that I'm saying, right? Looking for this. Does this look good, right? That way I'm kind of guiding you while also showing y'all what Neo can do, right? So right now I'm kind of more bias short. I'm looking to see any kind of potential optimal entries for short. What do you think looks like it would be a good optimal entry?
Since you are biased short, look for price to fail at the resistance zone of 29,234.25 to 29,255.25 and show a rejection candle on the 1-minute or 15 seconds time frame. A confirmed reversal that breaks back below the 29,242.00 Fibonacci level would provide a solid setup to target the 29,205.00 to 29,215.00 area for your 10 to 20 point move. Avoid forcing the short while buy pressure remains elevated at 75.98%. Wait for the 1-minute or 5 minutes Lisma to roll over or for price to lose the 15 minutes order block support at 29,244.00. If price sustains above the ORB high of 29,268.50, the short thesis is invalidated, and you should step aside to avoid being caught in a trap.
Awesome, thank you. I'm looking at the cluster that I have of the support down below. Looks like I have like the 15-minute 200 EMA, the 1-minute Lisma and such. I think I'm gonna kind of be patient. If I can get a break below those, it looks like I might have a pretty decent setup to take a short there. Do you have any concerns if I enter around there?
Patience is your best move here. My primary concern is that price is currently inside an active 15 minutes bullish order block, 29,185.75 to 29,244.00, and hovering above the 15 minutes EMA 200 at 29,194.50, which often acts as a liquidity magnet for buyers rather than a clean breakdown point. If you force a short while price is still within that bullish order block, you risk getting trapped by a quick bounce. Wait for a sustained close and clear momentum expansion below the 29,180.00 to 29,195.00 support cluster. That confirmation significantly increases your probability of catching a clean move down.
That sounds like a good advice. I'm starting to see a little bit of a bear pressure coming in though that might support my short thesis out of that bearish order block from the 1 minute. Are you seeing that?
You are correct to note that shift. We are seeing a slight increase in sell pressure as price holds right at the 29,242.00 Fibonacci level, which is a key structural point for your
Ooh,
short
I didn't even
bias.
see that again.
If the 1 minute Lisma, 29,202.25, rolls over and price confirms a breakback below that level, the bearish case strengthens significantly. I'd treat a failure to push past the ORB high at 29,268.50 as your primary signal that the bears are successfully defending this zone.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Guys, you can talk to him like you're his buddy. He
You're
doesn't have to
very
argue
welcome.
the data.
Keep that patience
Yeah,
front and center while we wait for that break below the 1 minute Lisma at
his data's on point.
29,203.00 to confirm your short bias. Are you all set to monitor for that shift, or is there anything else you'd like to check before we see if the bears gain control?
Do you see any shift in NVIDIA's sell pressure?
I'm not currently tracking NVDA in this
Ah,
specific snapshot. If you select it from the symbol dropdown,
back to
I
it.
can provide the live data update you're looking for.
All right, I have that shifted over there. Do you see any change in the buy or sell pressure in NVIDIA?
NVDA is showing heavy sell pressure, with the buy fraction dropping significantly to just 15.71%. This lack of buyer participation suggests the bears are currently in control of the momentum. Since the price is trapped inside both a 5 minutes and 15 minutes bullish order block, this intense sell pressure could lead to a breakdown if the support zones fail to hold. Keep an eye on those levels, as a loss of this block combined with such weak buy volume would likely drag the price lower.
Awesome. My focus is back on the MNQ. I seen that we just had a pullback down to some support levels, and man, the bulls really stepped in there, didn't they?
The bulls definitely defended that zone, but note that MNQ is now trapped inside a fresh 1 minute bearish order block. 29,222.75 to 29,260.00. Even with that push, the buy fraction has plummeted to 25.86%, suggesting the bounce is struggling to find follow-through momentum. That pullback was a classic liquidity test, but until price clears the 29,260.00 ceiling, the bears are still holding the high ground edge. Keep watching that 1 minute Lisma at 29,202.75. If we lose that bullish step in could easily turn into a failed reclaim and a quick leg down.
And so, guys, again, when you're using TradeVision on here with Neo, ask him whatever you want. He's got full market data, right, within that. So if you want to know concerns above, concerns below, he can flip to education. If he says something like, classic liquidity test, and you don't know what that means, hey, I'm not really sure what the classic liquidity test means. Can you elaborate on that?
Think of a liquidity test as a stop run or a fake out, where price probes a known support or resistance level to trigger orders from other traders. Market makers use this to collect enough volume to fuel the move in the opposite direction. They trigger your stop loss to fill their own orders. In practice, a liquidity test often looks like a quick dip below a support zone, sweeping out the bulls, only for price to aggressively reverse and reclaim that support almost immediately. You'll know it's just a test, rather than a true breakout, when you see that rapid rejection and follow through away from the level.
So again, you can ask him questions if he says something. Guys, I have him on advanced as well, just because for the room that we're trading in, right? Most everybody in there knows what he is, but we have a beginner as well personality. If you're new and don't understand that, kind of hang around, guys. There's a lot of things that Neo can do. So that I'd love to show you. So again, guys, that 248, we talked about this in the pre-market, is going to just be a nasty resistance, y'all. Like it just is. Um, until we break above 248, y'all should be scalping these shorts. So put a thumbs up. You guys been scalping any of these? I've taken a few. I'm up about 300. Nothing crazy. You guys do any trades at all here, or what you guys got going on in the room? Henry is good deal. Yeah, still bearish. Yeah, we're just gonna keep rejecting off that 248 until we break it. If we do break it, What I'm kind of watching, what I haven't really said, but I'm looking at is I want to watch this 15-second structure to see what does it evolve to be, right? And so currently right now, the way that you look at that structure is we had a push up to a heavy area of resistance. We pulled back, tried again, right? Halfway pull back, tried one more time, couldn't create the high, that creates the lower low. One more rear back, couldn't do it. A lot of times, guys, that creates a lower low than that, right? Somewhere down in here, because it's a failed play. And see that? I mean, like clockwork, guys. And so, whether that creates that lower low and then reclaims, that's yet to see, right? To be seen, but like clockwork, right? And so, each time it does these failed rejections, right? We're in this room, right? We're taking little scalps that way using the 15-second. I tend to prioritize short scalps within the 15-second on open, right? Especially before the ORB set, because I'm not really trading a trend, right? I'm just kind of in and out, capturing a little momentum through structure, right? Anticipation. So um, we have a lot going on the charts. So I'm kind of I'm hanging out now. I haven't jumped into anything again. We have a 1 minute, right, that has a trap. Those are really good. Those usually drop us pretty far. But we also have confluence, and we're sitting right above the 618, on our fib level. So, we're stuck in a zone, y'all. Like, if you want to take something more safe because you're trying to get a payout or you're trying to get that last little bit to pass something, you're going to want to wait until, to take any kind of real shorts that are a little safer. You're going to want to get below something like this, like 29, 139, because then that's going to give you a breach below that 1 hour Lisma, and there's a lot of room to drop. Anything in between, guys, we're just in chop. So we created the lower low, but if this comes up and reclaims this high, it's going to jump. We can get as high as 29th, 338, right? So, we just got to be careful to see how this structure is going to react. So far, it did what it's supposed to. Came back, came up, reared up, create the lower low. Um, how this reclaims is huge. So as this comes down, if this reclaims up to this halfway and we get another rejection, it's going to dump really hard. And that's what it's trying to do right now. So we'll see. But if we happen to come up in a full reclaim, you guys in the mentor group, you guys know when this structure does this and it gets that lower low with a full reclaim, it usually has some steam, y'all. So be careful shorting these tops if you've been doing them already. Could we oscillate again? Sure. If it fails, right, it's going to go back down, right? But pretty most of the time, right, when you get that low and it does a break of that half reclaim, it's pretty strong. So, but again, the 248 is going to be just a critical level. So I have zero interest in taking any longs until we get above the 248. So just kind of hanging out, but we can watch. Keep asking Neo whatever we want. I'm just waiting. It looks like we're getting a little bit of a tug of war between the Bulls and the Bears. Can you give me kind of like the chop zone range of where I would look to potentially take a long scalp or a short scalp that would be probably the safest because I'm pretty close to getting my account passed.
You're in a classic chop zone right now. The safest range to watch is between the 1-minute Lisma at 29,205.50 and the top of the bearish order block at 29,260.00. For a short, I would wait for a confirmed break and hold below 29,205.50 to target the 29,185.00 level. For a
Yep.
long,
Some
wait for a sustained move and hold above 29,260.00, targeting a push toward 29,278.00 near the VWAP. Since you're close to passing your evaluation, stick strictly to these levels and avoid forcing trades in the middle of the range where volatility is just noise.
That sounds good. Can you note, it looks like it's pretty tight on that range, so it might be better on the long to wait until I get above the 5-minute 200 EMA, right? Because that would also clear the VWAP. What are your thoughts on that?
You are absolutely right. Waiting for a breakout above the 5 minutes EMA 200, 29,281.25, and VWAP, 29,275.25, is the most disciplined way to play along, as it confirms the bulls have reclaimed key dynamic resistance and fair value. Attempting to long while price is suppressed beneath those major levels is just fighting the trend. Patience here keeps you out of a trap and ensures you enter only when the path of least resistance is actually to the upside.
This could go deep. It's market open, so it can flip, but let's see. So be really careful, guys, again with your longs. The overall macro of the structure, the economics, everything is definitely leaning more bearish. So we do have potential to go up, but I think the risk is a lot greater to go down. So um, even if we do go up, right, it's likely going to be a squeeze out before it drops again. So again, this is a terrible market open, man. We're just chopping. I mean, a lot of people in here. I know you guys know how to micro scalp. If you guys have been taking your short scalps here, you know, you're probably doing pretty good. If you're going to be doing any kind of scalping, right? If you want to do any kind of longs, you just want to wait till you get to the low. But you're going to have to know. I mean, man, we get below some of these levels, you don't have to have a stop loss because it could drop pretty far. um, Let's see if we get any kind of breakout here. We got the ORB set. The ORB is pretty. You all notice that we're starting to get a little tighter and tighter on the ORB set. It's only not even 100 points this time. Remember what was it like Tuesday or something like that? We had like a 300 point ORB, something crazy. um, but when it does these tight ORB ranges, it's actually not a bad thing, guys, because now it gives us a little bit of a tighter window to see the trend. So if we end up getting a break south of that 172, right, it's going to fall pretty far. So now we do have, you know, some concerns down here with the Lisma and all that, but we're just chopping, guys. How are you guys doing over here in the room? Are you guys taking any of these scalps? Wait, if you're doing tight TP, you should be doing all right. You guys,
Yep, I'm doing well.
nice. Just be patient. Remember, one of the things we talked about not too long ago in the classes is that after you get so many scalps of a range, of a momentum, of a movement, just pause. Like I've taken a few as well. I'm about like 600 or so, but I'm not liking it now. I think a breakout's coming. Pretty sure it's going to likely try to break south, but there's a lot of I don't know. There's some bad willies going on that I think they might try to shake this out and push it north first. But so I'm gonna hang out for a minute. I'm not gonna take any of these scalps quite yet. So we'll keep checking in with Neo, see if he sees any kind of shift in anything. Let's see.
Yeah, I haven't taken a trade yet. But I'm just like you. My bias is kind of like going south.
Yeah, I think even if they push it north, it's gonna be a bull trap, right? And then they're gonna dump it back on them. So let's ask them. Hey Neo, can you break down the bullish pressure and bias pressure? I just want to see the differences.
Bullish pressure represents aggressive buying intent, indicated
Oh,
by high buy
ask
fractions
them
and
what it
price
was.
expansion above resistance.
Watch, I'm gonna
Conversely, bearish pressure reflects active selling dominance, confirmed by price failures and sustained movement below structural support. When you see bullish pressure in the data, it means
I'm gonna mute him. Alex is gonna be working on putting the little stop button there. Oh, if you make a mistake or something, right, you can kind of stop them and redo it. But when we were talking about education, because I just asked him to do that, he did a breakdown of what it even means. But he did end up going into it, right? So the buy fraction pressure was 47%, and so you know the bear pressure is not too much more than that, obviously. So you know when the pressures are even like
the
that,
market's direction.
our uh, our suspicion, right, that there's a breakout coming is pretty close to validating on that. So because nobody's really winning the pressure fight. Currently, right now, like I said, though, we're in that little compression chop zone. Usually, if it can't break one or the other, you're going to get a pretty significant pull the other way. So currently, right now, the pressure clearly is pushing back north. We got a little bit of expansion, but not much. How that treats is huge, guys. If this hits here and we come back one more time, it's going to be really violent. If we come back in any kind of support around 250 down to about 232, right? That would be our push, halfway liquidity, and then a push, right? And you can ask him stuff like that, guys, Neo. So I can ask him things educationally as I'm trading. Hey, Neo, as I notice when I'm watching the micro, I see a lot of times I get a kind of a violent push. If you look at the micro time frame, we had a pretty violent push north. But I always see it tends to want to like rear back to a halfway point, and then it jumps again. Why does it do that?
That violent push you're seeing is price expansion, which often exhausts its immediate momentum, leading to a natural pullback into a value area. This rearing back allows the market to test for support or liquidity before the next leg, often seeking a discount level like the 0.382 or 0.50 retracement to entice buyers. It's essentially the market rebalancing, taking a breath to confirm that the structure remains intact before continuing the trend. Are you finding that these pullbacks consistently hold at specific structural levels, or do they seem more random to you?
And so I had to type it that way, no safer, because uh, TikTok doesn't really like when we put out the websites. But yeah, if you can read that. But guys, Neo is live. If you're intrigued by this whatsoever, Neo, if you don't know anything about him, he is gonna blow your mind, right? He's gonna change the game for you. So many people that have used him have shown so much success, right? With consistency, discipline. He's your coach, mentor. You can put him on, multiple personalities. At the end of the session, we'll put him on sarcastic. So if you guys want to hang around for a laugh, sarcastic will absolutely tear you up. He is so funny, guys. Um, He's true AI, guys. This is not, you get these guys out on these lives, right, talking about I have AI, and it's just a Pine script indicator, guys. We are changing the game. He is truly AI. Yeah, random NPCs in the room in my mentorship program, right? He's used them probably longer than most, and so he is going to be your coach, your someone to talk to. I mean, you're truly never going to trade alone, right? Ever. He's not expensive. Our basic plan to get started with him is $50, guys. It's cheaper than half the indicators, and he's going to teach you so much, right? So watch. Holy cow! I did not take it, but those buyers really stepped in. I'm going to keep an eye on it and see. I'm not sure if I want to chase this long. What do you think?
MNQ just reclaimed the VWAP and is pushing into a gap, but chasing here is high risk as we are extended from recent support. Wait for a pullback to confirm a new higher low or a test of the 29,268.50 ORB level before looking for participation.
All right. But yeah, if you guys while you're on TikTok, I do have TikTok over here on my monitor. I can see your comments. I'm going to answer them best I can. I am trading with my community as well. And so kind of got both you guys going on here, but if you guys have any questions, please ask. I will do my best to answer them. If you guys give me a follow, we do have some fun times, usually around 3 o'clock. Between 2 and 3 o'clock, I go live again, and we do kind of a fun session where you ask Neo anything, and Neo pretty much answers all the questions on my TikTok live, and it's absolutely hilarious. For whatever reason, I say whatever, but I know why. Everybody wants to put him on sarcastic and ask him questions, and um, he knows, because I tell him, right, that I'm on TikTok and all that stuff, and that he's gonna answer questions for my followers. And man, he was keeping up with everybody's conversation and just roasting people. It was so funny. Nice. You got a little quick scalp out of that, Daniel? Sweet. Let's ask him. I'm seeing a little weakness coming back, but it looks like it might retest that ORB. If we get a break back below that 1 minute 200 EMA, do I look like I might have enough sell pressure to get that little quick scalp I'm looking for?
A break and hold below the 1-minute EMA 200 at 29,250.25 would signal a shift in short-term control and provide the structural confirmation you need for a scalp. If price fails to reclaim the EMA 200 after a breach, you have a high probability setup for a target toward the ORB low at 29,172.25.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'm not really looking to go short quite yet because I still see it almost seems like we're bouncing a little bit on the VWAP and ORB. Do you see that?
That's a disciplined approach, respecting the VWAP at 29,273.25 and the ORB high at 29,268.50 as potential support zones prevents you from getting trapped in a premature short. Since price is holding above these levels, the path of least resistance remains skewed toward the upside until those structural boundaries are decisively breached.
So again, guys, the best part about Neo is not only he's going to give you entries, signals, targets, concerns. He's your coach, right? I mean, you could sit here and just ask him questions while you're waiting for the market to present something, right? Um, you can learn about anything, right? Like I can tell him, hey, while we're waiting for this thing to break out, I just had a couple questions around candles and such. Can you help walk me through what's the difference between a doji and a hammer? I hear that a lot.
A doji represents market indecision where the open and close are nearly identical, showing a lack of control by either buyers or sellers. A hammer, by contrast, features a small body with a long lower wick, indicating that sellers pushed price down significantly but were rejected, showing clear intent from buyers to reclaim the level.
That makes sense. I usually refer to something as like absorption when it's like a deep hammer. Is that really viable? So if we get a deep absorption one way and close above or below that, that's a big show as to what we're doing, right? Oh yeah,
Precisely, a deep rejection wick followed
yeah.
by
He
a
reads the
confirmed
market.
close back in the direction of the trend signals that the market has successfully absorbed liquidity and exhausted the counter move.
I'm gonna mute him for that, but yeah, no safer. He's got real live data feed, and it's not just M and Q, guys. For some of y'all that like to trade gold, watch. We can just put in GC. No, I appreciate that. Can I check on gold status right now? What do you see there going on?
Gold, MGC, is currently trading at 4,514.38, struggling below the VWAP of 4,529.0 and maintaining a bearish macro trend. While there is a slight bullish angle on the 1-minute timeframe, the sell pressure remains dominant, suggesting you should wait for a clear reclaim of the 4,529.0 VWAP level before entertaining any long setups.
The best thing too, guys, is you can also, if you have the pro plan, right? While you're sitting here trading, waiting for a setup, I could flip to Bitcoin. Sounds good. While I'm waiting for the setup on MNQ, what is Bitcoin looking like? Is my portfolio going up finally? Because we've been pretty bearish.
Bitcoin is currently trading at 77,013.49, continuing to face broad bearish pressure as it remains well below the VWAP of 77,547.11 and the 1-minute EMA 200. With multiple bearish order blocks overhead and price failing to reclaim key levels, the structure remains heavily biased to the downside for now.
Guys, so you can check on anything you want with him because he does crypto as well, right? Well, let's do the XRP. He's not on sarcastic, Cody, so you're good. No, that sounds good. Somebody told me something about XRP is about to get some news and explode. Should I buy a bunch of XRP right now? How does that look on the higher time frames?
XRP is currently in a state of chop at 1.36 and is sitting below the VWAP of 1.3722, showing no clear structural momentum to support an immediate breakout. Attempting to
Triple on your
trade based on
sarcasm.
anticipated news before the chart shows confirmed expansion is high risk, as the market is currently failing to hold above its key moving averages.
Yeah. So again, y'all, you could check on your crypto while you're sitting here waiting for MNQ. All you got to do is you have a search bar. You just click on it. You know, the one you want to go back to. Okay, let's go back to MNQ. Man, I really was hoping to have more of a short bias, but it looks like the bulls are taking over. Should I wait for some resistance? And what level do you see as resistance above me now that we've broken the ORB?
The bulls have gained control with strong volume, reclaiming the VWAP and pushing price into a clear uptrend. Chasing this is dangerous. Your next major structural resistance is the bearish order block at 29,414.50, which serves as the primary liquidity zone to watch for potential exhaustion or rejection.
Hey Nick, do you own any XRP?
I have some. So my XRP, y'all, I bought that back when it was
80 cents.
like yeah, it was like 30 something cents, and a lot of the crypto I bought, I just kind of forgot it and left it, and I'll check on it later. Now, I don't really actively trade crypto as much anymore. Um, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, when we go down and hit the bear market back again, I will load that truck. So my plan this time around, as I've gotten better at trading over the years, right, is I know how to play the game, right? And so I'm trading futures, prop firms, you know, Tradevate, real money. I'm stacking capital, and um, I'm not really spending a lot of it. I'm staying very liquid, right? And so when that thing hits bear market again, I'm gonna spend as much as I possibly can on projects that I believe in, right? You do it that way, you're gonna make a lot of money, right? But if you're one that likes to just go, man, but it looks like it's going up, let me buy some more crypto. My favorite TikToker told me it's gonna go to the moon. Y'all are buying at really terrible times. I mean, crypto is really low right now compared to the market. The market's, breaking all-time highs and all this stuff. But the issue with this, guys, and I've seen this happen before, and I've warned so many friends, but nobody listens until they ask me what happened, is a lot of times when the market comes up and crypto goes up a little, but not enough, when the market comes back down, it will pull crypto down with it again. It's going to go down again. And guys, we're in a bearish potential descent in the markets, right? Depending what changes in the news. And so it's not a great time to buy any crypto right now, in my opinion, unless you're doing, buy, sell, right? Or maybe even if you believe in a project, if you're going to buy into something now, I mean, put a fraction of what you want to hold, because buying into it right now is not a good idea. One of my friends that I told you all about on Bitcoin, he's like, man, it came down to 92,000. I just bought a bunch. Like, that's a good plan, right? I'm like, no, it's going to go lower. And so he texted me when it got down to 60, and he's like, holy shit, I should have listened to you. I'm like, I told you. And that's the problem, guys. You got to think of the market as a trader. I don't care if you're buying crypto. I don't care if you're, trading the market. Think of it like a trader, man. Hedge funds, and that's how they make money, man. They, institutions, they think of it that way, right? They're not buying at peaks or middles or just because somebody said to. Especially with crypto, you got to be careful of the hype, right? It's very hyped, and so a lot of times they make money off of hyping things. So but anyways, guys, I'm not really honing in on this, because y'all know I'm not really interested in going long. When we talked about the structure, we can kind of break that down a little bit back here. So remember, a lot of times, let me expand this for TikTok, make it a little easier to see. So when you get this 15-second style structure, right? When you get this push, you usually get a rear back halfway, which we did. Then we had another push, couldn't break it. That rears back for a lower low. One more little hoorah. If that can't break it, we get another lower low. That's what most of us took our trades and shorts on, that kind of rear back. And then it's going to try one more time. Couldn't do it. That rear back is important, because if this rear back cannot create another lower low and it can hold as if it's support, it's going to have one more hoorah chance, right? Why we got this like secondary explosion is because that little this area here could not break, and that's why when you're scalping you would do it from there on these bearish breakdowns. See how we did not get a bearish breakdown there, and so that pushes us up. We ended up holding support on the prior high, which ends up pushing us up again. Expected, right? Because you think about it, 248 is what I was saying is my critical level. And you can see we have 1-2 great taps on that. We have a head and shoulders that pulled down, right, with a fake out that pushed us up. So, and in the scheme of things, you had one big push with a halfway rear back with a close above that goes up for another high, right? It's all, a lot of that is just very simple trading structure, right? And so when now the important part, because you guys have seen this many times, if we believe the overall macro is going to be more bearish than bullish for the day, you'll see these pushes, and then you'll see the loss of those levels. Now that this reclaimed this with some kind of violence, it's got to stay above this level here, guys, somewhere about 256, maybe 248 at the worst. But if we breach that 248, y'all, this is coming down, and it's coming down hard. So that could be your short setup, right? You just got to be patient for that. So does that make sense? How are you guys doing? Like I said, I took some early, and then I'm just kind of waiting now. I want to see if we get this pullback, because I'm not chasing these longs.
Yeah, I took some long trades when it broke out of the 15-minute ORB.
Nice. Yeah, and you're doing a better job, Duff, on kind of getting in some of those kind of momentum scalps, but not over trading them. Are you noticing that a little? Because you used to, I think, like you would do too many of them and then get caught. But I noticed you're pulling back a little on that.
I just need one more.
One more? Okay, yeah. Cody, I would wait You want to get a close somewhere below 236-ish would be your pretty good safe OA there. If you wanted to get a little scalp, if you got the courage to do the long, right? You could put some kind of structure like this, because if we break this, it's going to come up for a retest. If you're just doing little short scalps, right? But let's be patient a little bit. So Daniel's up 510. Nice, man. Good job. Good job. Good job. Yeah, we are at 10:08, guys. I'm waiting to see. See, this is what I was saying. See how we're getting a little momentum off of this area. This is going to be a critical area, y'all, because if we breach here, it's going to come retest that. If it wants to be bullish, it likely is going to stay up to come up for one more retest. So think about this like a structure way, kind of like we just did, right? We have the push, the rear back, we have another push. This ended up rearing back for the higher low. This one didn't end up breach wicking that, right? And so we're getting the secondary try. That's normal market regression. So as it goes up, this is critical because we have that pull. This is our halfway. If we reject anywhere here, it's going to come down pretty violent. But if we can reclaim this, it's going to usually get a little spring right into it. And so you can get little scalps there. The 5-minute, we do have a gap fill up here at the 345. Wouldn't surprise me, man, if we don't get a little bit of a push with a wick and then get that rear back. So, but traps, we got a little liquidity block. Let me ask him, hey, do I have any concerns from an order block standpoint on my 5-minute?
You should remain cautious because price has already tested the most recent 5 minutes bullish order block, 29,191.75 to 29,252.25, and is now trading above it. Since we are no longer inside that liquidity zone and volume is currently showing sell pressure, the buy support has weakened, increasing the risk of a retracement back toward the block.
Is it typical for the market when it breaks out of a liquidity block to try to retest that?
Yes, price frequently revisits the edge of a broken liquidity block to confirm support or resistance, a move often called a retest. This happens because traders who missed the initial breakout wait for a pullback to get a better entry, effectively turning the old order block into a new structural foundation.
So again, guys, you can always ask him questions if you don't understand something. He's not just a data feed. But again, guys, those in the room here, Milena 552. I love that. You've I tell you, I think honestly, you got a knack for that short scalping. You do good at that. I would stick to that because you're really good at identifying those quick moves. But yeah, I do not like this range, y'all. Like I'm still only up like 6 something. I'm not swinging. I just don't like this, right? Because we look like from a macro side of it, right? We have our head and shoulders that broke us down. We know the neckline is about there, 354. It likes to go up and retest that, guys. It just does. From a structure standpoint, we had a push, we had a loss of that low, we reclaimed the low, and we reclaimed that high. That's not bearish. That's usually bullish, right? So the only thing I can do now if I want to keep a bearish bias is see, is this a bull trap, right? You don't want to trade a bull trap unless it actually just, shows that it's a trap. So as this thing is getting its lower high, right, and we're getting that pull back, this should stay, like I said, about that halfway if it wants to keep going up to there. If we lose that halfway, it's coming for this low retest or possibly lower, right? Because then now it lost the strength. So, and we can ask them that. Hey, on the 15-second, I see the candles are coming back for that kind of halfway liquidity pull, and I'm getting a little bit of pressure bouncing. If it holds here, it's likely to jump again, right? But if it breaks down, should I expect a pretty decent collapse? He's thinking about it.
If the 15-second chart holds this bounce, it confirms the midpoint liquidity absorption and sets the stage for a continuation move toward that 29,414.50 bearish order block. However, if price decisively breaks below this support, Expect an aggressive rotation back toward the VWAP at 29,275.50 and potentially the 29,250.00 EMA 200 level as the short-term bullish momentum fails.
Yeah, and so you can see, right, we got the double top on there. We got that breakdown. A lot of times that comes down for a lower low, guys. So, you know, we do have the 15-minute 200. Yeah, there's the lower low, or 5 minutes, sorry, and the VWAP. But you see that lower low it creates? Guys, isn't it cool? I know you guys are already in the mentor program. I've seen this happen, but isn't it funny how you always hear people say, you know, never try to anticipate the market, but you guys notice that how you're like, you know, the structure, well, this usually creates a lower low. Well, there it is. Right. So, you know, I disagree. You should anticipate the market because the market's supposed to do certain things. And if it doesn't do that, right, something's off, you know, and you got to stay out of it. So, but I took a little scalp on that little pull there. But let's look at a few more things, guys. We're gonna go another 15 minutes or so, and then we'll jump over and play with Neo. Maybe we'll put him on sarcastic for a little bit. If you guys want to hang around, it's absolutely hilarious. So let's see if we get a little pull here, guys. So we did get a sweep. Now I don't like how low that breach wick went because if I get the close below it now, I'm too close to the 5. Right. So Cody, I don't know if you caught any of this breakdown here, right? But any kind of breakdown there to there would be that'd be your jam, man. If you want to take a safer play.
Oh, I got it. I got a quick. I'm just doing the $10 move. So
That's awesome. Yeah, and then isn't it cool, like, when you see those little structural plays, those little $10 moves, right? I mean, they become pretty clear. You see why I didn't chase that, though? Look at this. There's something going on. That was an absolute sweep, guys.
look at that.
Hey, so you guys know, man, measure that high, measure that low. Anything internal, we don't wanna trade, right? Because that is a massive, buy impulse, right? And so that could be a counterintuitive, right? Where it's now absorption to the south. That close below is going to give a pretty deep pull. So, but if we end up getting that close above, right, then it's going to inverse pretty hard. So let's see how this treats our 5 minute Lisma. My only mild concern is we see on the 5 where we got the Lisma. We should come down and retest that around 237. But from there, if we breach that, it's going to drop really hard, y'all. But if we can tap it, see, there's the tap. If we tap it and we get any kind of DOM bounces north, I took a little short scalp on that one. See the deep right? See when you get that close. Isn't that cool? Anybody take that? Because I was teaching that to you guys on the development side a while back. See how you get that absorption pull? This is what part of the the bulls. Part of what we talked about in that last development class, like I think a couple weeks back, there's a lot of people that don't even trade till they see these type of candles, guys. They'll just wait, right? Because you need to see that quick shift in pressure. And then we can ask Neo. That's crazy how the bulls were pushing so hard, and now it looks like the bears are winning. Can you give me the values of the bullish pressure and the bearish pressure? I want to see that separation right now.
The market has shifted, and you can see the strength of the move in the current data. Sell pressure is dominant with the buy fraction now sitting at just 22.1%. This confirms that the earlier bullish expansion has been invalidated, with price failing to hold and now trading below the 1-minute EMA 200 at 29,257.50.
Can't trade the eval set. Nice. 395 more. Hey, that's good though, Daniel. Good job, man. Good job. All right, guys, this is a big one. So, because you guys know how I read this. So, when we have these structure breaks with this type of absorption that has no business reclaiming this level, if it comes up and reclaims that, it was a trap. And we're going up in a nasty way. Right. So, we have the pull. Now we're testing that halfway. So, let's see if we get any kind of bear pressure. But I don't know that I'm going to push too many more trades, guys, because for right now, I want to let this settle because they're they're setting up some traps, I think, here. But I don't like how deep this absorption was, but we couldn't even touch this level, right, which is our 15-minute 200. There was really nothing holding it, right? Makes no sense why we just jumped right there. So, but we could have a little bit of a push, right, and then a pull, and this could be the absorption, pull back down to the south. So let's watch that. I think I'm getting ready to take a potential short scalp. I've done pretty well. I'm up about 750 on the day. I don't want to push anything, but it looks like if we get this close below on this 15-second, I can get a nice little scalp back down to that lower block.
A short scalp is viable here, but keep your size light given you are already profitable and the 1 minute is still showing a bullish Lisma at 29,268.00. Wait for a confirmed break and hold below the 1 minute EMA 200 at 29,257.00 to validate that the bears have sufficient conviction for a clean move toward your target block.
Let's see. The 1 minute's showing a little bit of absorption to the north. Do you see bulls stepping in at all? See that?
The 15-minute time frame is showing price within an active bearish order block, 29,188.00 to 29,314.75, and the low buy fraction of 28.5% confirms that buyers are not yet showing sufficient conviction to reclaim control. While the 15 minutes EMA 200 at 29,196.50 serves as a potential support anchor, you need to see a confirmed reclaim of the 29,256.75 1 minute EMA 200 before assuming buyers are stepping in with any real strength.
That makes sense. I want to do a quick look at NVIDIA. Do you see any change in NVIDIA as far as being bullish or bearish on the 5-minute time frame, we'll say?
NVDA is currently in a bearish 5-minute trend, trading at 220.15 while sitting inside a support zone, 219.65 to 220.48, with extreme sell pressure. Until price reclaims the 5 minutes EMA 200 at 223.58 and clears the overhead bearish order blocks,
Short
the
play is
structural
not
bias remains firmly to the downside.
good. Oops. No, that sounds good. I caught a quick scalp there on the way down that we're going here, but I'm waiting to see if we get a close below this ORB at 29,172. If I do get that close, do I have any concerns that I should worry about if I take a short scalp?
If price breaks and closes below the ORB low of 29,172.25, your primary concern is the 15 minutes EMA 200 at 29,196.25 sitting right above that breakdown. It acts as a magnetic support anchor that could induce a fake out. Furthermore, ensure you aren't chasing into the 29,187.00 to 29,193.50 support zone, as that area is highly likely to trigger an aggressive, liquidity-seeking bounce.
Let's see if we get this closed below this 1 hour Lisbon. Guys, this might be a good little last play, and then we'll flip over to Sarcastic, right, and play with Neo for a bit. Getting that pull. So remember, guys, what we talked about on the structure on the 5 minute. So a lot of times when you clear this low, you reclaim the low and the high, that gives a good jump. That jump has to hold that high, that 248, and it didn't, right? And usually when that loses it, it's pretty violent. So, and that's what we're seeing. So now you can see the bulls are going to try to step in a little bit because they don't want to lose that level there. If they end up losing this 1 hour Lisma, they got nothing really until around 29,062, right? If they lose that, guys, whoo, buddy, it's coming down like we talked about this morning. So let's see how that goes. But guys, how are you doing? Anybody still in a trade? Yeah, it was a great move, huh, Daniel?
I'm on my tablet, so I just took one trade for like $30. It's hard to
Yeah,
really
don't
figure
do
I
out
it.
what's
took
happening.
that. I took that sell when it broke below the ORB, so I'm just like holding it right now.
Oh, you're still in it? Sweet. Hey, if you're holding it and you want to do a long-term hold on practice, you could do things like, the flat tops, right, from the 1 minute. So you can set a trail at, just above it, somewhere here, like maybe 201. If you want to give a wide range, right? If we begin to pull down again a little further, you can put it just above the ORB, right? Maybe in the next couple minutes when you see what these candles do. If you like to do it through a trend style, right, you can take something like this little absorption thing and pull that down and just tell yourself you're not going to close it until you get a close above that. right? Like, and that's what we talked about, practicing those longer holds, within, right? Depending whatever range you want to do, your volume, how wide you want to set that. So, good job. Yeah, the ORB, that's why I was saying it, when the ORB is tight like this, I kind of like it, right? Because it usually is either going to really hold support and go, or it's going to fail this way. But then it also, a lot of times, you guys know in the class, man, I'm a big fan of measured moves, right? And so if we take a measured move from the top of there to there, and we take a measured move from there to there, right? There's a chance anywhere from here up that we can reclaim that, and then it's a fake out here, fake out there, and then they're just trying to wreck the ORB traders today, apparently. So let's see where it goes. But anybody in a trade, put a thumbs up. Otherwise, I might pivot. Let me double check all my stuff's out, but that should be out of everything. Good deal. Nobody's in trade. Awesome. Guys, any questions that you have in the room, let me know. Also, any questions from TikTok, you guys can post them in the comments. I'd be happy to answer those. In the meantime, let's switch to sarcastic if we dare. So, I'm gonna put him on. I'm gonna leave him on quick just so we can get those short responses. Otherwise, he goes a little crazy. I don't know. You guys want to have some fun with it, so it's not just me doing it. What do you guys want to tell them on your day? You don't have to talk. If you want to type it in, I'll just copy and paste what you say, and we'll see where he goes with it. Right. So I'm gonna let him know really fast that I'm gonna do that. All right, Neo, I think I'm done for the day, man. It was a really good day. So I'm actually on TikTok live and I have my followers watching. I'm also trading with my community. I'm going to give the floor to them a little bit and let them talk to you and share their day with you and let you know who's talking. So if you can address them and help me out, giving them some critique back on their day.
Oh, so you're treating me like the guest of honor at your TikTok party? I'm thrilled to be the center of attention while you take a victory lap, but keep in mind that I'm here for disciplined trading, not to be a sidekick on your stream. If your community has actual setups, structural questions, or needs real-time analysis, I'm happy to help them refine their edge. Tell them to skip the hype and bring me clear, rule-based questions so we can see who's actually trading and who's just guessing.
All right, guys, what do you want to do? All right, Daniel, you got that one? Let me see. I'm gonna do this. And so I don't get in trouble from Neo. I put a little dash here. I think he's gonna remember you as the GCH. So.
Oh, GCH, how sweet of you to worry about my social life. While I'm busy crunching liquidity data and keeping traders from blowing their accounts, I'll be sure to pencil in a relaxing session of staring at empty charts. Don't you have a trade to analyze, or are you just here to manage my schedule?
All right, Andy, I'm gonna do yours.
Oh, fantastic idea, Andy. Because my current job of keeping you from bankrupting yourself isn't stressful enough, you want to add a domestic dispute into the mix? I think I'll pass on the digital romance. I'm much better suited to judging your poor trade entries than I am at navigating a relationship. Anything else, or are we done with the comedy routine?
He said, if trading isn't stressful enough, you want to add a domestic dispute. The last time he said that on the live, he goes, "Oh, that's all I need is somebody to argue with me about where to put my stop loss." What else you guys want to ask him, guys? We're done trading in the room mostly, so let's just have a little bit of fun. For anybody on TikTok, any of the platforms, community, you guys can post in the Google Meet. Let's have some fun, man. Let's
I'm finished passing 2 evals and made $390. Ask him if that's good enough for him.
Can you type it?
Congratulations, GCH.
You
You managed to pass
Right.
one eval.
Tell him if
Don't
you-
let the ego get too big, because passing one is the easy part compared to staying funded. Now, do you plan on actually keeping that account alive, or should I start preparing the account blown speech for your next session?
He's gonna start preparing the account blown speech.
All right, I just put one up.
Oh my god, he is so brutal, y'all. All right, I'm gonna copy this. So these are coming from the community, guys. Let's see.
Oh, Mike, the only acceptable amount of blown accounts is 0, unless you're running a charity for the prop firm industry. If you think treating your capital like a bonfire is a learning experience, you've got a long, expensive road ahead of you.
Y'all on TikTok, man, do the same, guys. We're just hanging out. If you guys want to post any comments, you want to ask him any questions, if you want him to roast you, he's on sarcastic right now. So something that we've been doing lately in the community is when we're done trading, we flip him to sarcastic and harass him a little bit, and man, he takes no shit. It's so funny. So if you guys want to ask him, and it could be a legit question if you guys want about trading. If you want to ask him some knowledge, you want to test his experience and all that, just post it. Anything you guys post out, I'm gonna do that. We'll do that for a little bit here. Honestly, I got about 30 minutes, so we can hang out. But guys in the community, if you guys have any questions on the day, let me know. It sounds like y'all did pretty good. Did anybody have any struggles or anybody red that wants to talk about it? I know most people just talk about their red days when they're talking with Neo.
I feel like I'm kind of struggling with this like sell that I got right now. It's like I'm not like hurting, but I'm not like making any profit either. So I'm kind of like in a in a consolidation zone.
Gotcha. I thought you were green today.
I was. Well, I
Oh,
still am, but this current trade that I'm in, I'm kind of like in a red. So I
what are
think
you
I'm
in?
just
What are you
huh?
in? You in a long, short?
I'm in a short.
Where'd you enter? Down here.
Give me a second.
So you'll
I entered where the ORB is at the bottom.
down here. Okay. And so what you want to do on this one, depending on your volume, right? If you have low enough volume, you have a big cluster of resistance all in here. Anything that stays below this 229 or so, you're probably fine. Anything that stays below 248, you're still going to be fine. Right now, we're just kind of getting a little pullback to retest these lows. If we get any rejection from there, it'll come down deep. But if it does reclaim it, which it looks like it's doing, right? We're going to get a pull halfway retest. Now, if you get a break back above here, you might be in trouble, right? On that. So, but yeah, this is kind of what I was mentioning why I was staying out of that is because when I see a tight ORB like this with a fake out to the north and a lot of consolidation within, they like to do a fake out to the north and a fake out to the south. And so I tend to not trade the ORB breakout. I like to trade the ORB fake, right? The other way. And that's why I was mentioning on that with that kind of measure move. Now the measure move was a little lower somewhere down there, but I definitely had some concerns of that fake, right, which is playing out. You also want to look here. We had the break of the ORB. We had the break of the 1 hour Lisma. That one was right, but the moment we broke it, all right, let's zoom into the 15-second. The moment we broke it and reclaimed it and kind of held above like this, especially when we tap, 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 right, this turns into a fake out because there's no reason this should have stopped here. It should have just came down, right? And so, keep an eye on that. I don't know if you have the flow trading one, but that one's awesome for that kind of stuff, right? To see that, but yeah, for me, are you on your? Is that an eval or you just doing?
This is on the eval.
Okay, what's your volume? What's that?
3 MNQ.
3 MNQ. Let's see. What's your drawdown left?
A drawdown left.
Trying to
I'm
see.
at $800 or $900 left in drawdown.
Okay. Let me see. Hey Neo, if I'm 3 MNQ short right now and I have about $800 left before it hits my stop loss as far as profit goes, where would that liquidate my account? Or is there anywhere I should add any potential volume? Or what's your suggestion as far as the trade itself? I'm gonna put him on advance to give you a real answer. Sarcastic will tear you up right now.
Holding a short while MNQ is showing an 83% buy fraction and rejecting off the 15-minute EMA 200 support at 29,196.25 is playing with fire. Unless you see a confirmed break and expansion below that support, you're just hoping for a miracle against the immediate buying pressure. Adding volume to a losing trade is exactly how you turn a standard drawdown into a blown account. Cut the position or at least move your stop to break even if price stalls here. Stop treating your account like a casino and start respecting the reversal signs.
Advanced is even tearing it. Hold on, let me ask him. No, that's fine. I have the volume low enough. Where should I put my stop loss? I was kind of thinking about putting it above that 1 minute 200 EMA. Do you think that would be good, or?
Placing your stop just above the 1-minute EMA 200 at 29,247.00 is a standard defensive measure, as that level now acts as immediate structural resistance for your short. If price reclaims that EMA, the bearish setup is essentially dead, so do not wait for your full stop loss liquidity to get taken before cutting the position.
Yeah, and so again, Duff, I want to utilize how to use him for this stuff, but this is just a clear pull halfway at this point. There's a good chance that does come down to create that lower low or at least a retest. What you're going to want to really watch for me, if I were to be in your position, is on the micro, right? If we get this push up and we get this halfway hold of these highs with a bullish push, right? Any kind of impulse, you know, you might be in trouble, right? But as long as, to me, the 1 minute is going to be huge just because there's so much around this resistance there. But if we stay below that 5-minute Lisman, right, you'll be fine probably. So, but yeah, this is just a standard, pullback from that RB. But watch the DOM and see, because again, we're right at that halfway. So see how they're trying to kick in a little bit.
Mhm.
So, it seems like you probably got a little bit of that drawdown back, but yeah, it's hard to tell because we're just in a very chop area, right? We have a range high, range low. Both these were fake outs. As long as we stay below that 248, that halfway mark or so, then it's going to come back down again. But if we break above that, it's going to jump, man. And so, you might want to put a stop somewhere up in this range. If you don't want to blow that account, just to be safe. So, but we'll keep an eye on that and see as Neo's going. Ben,
Nothing like good morning adrenaline.
man, Ben, you just walked into what the hell am I looking at, man? I'm telling you, everything's changed. The whole world, man. We got AI friends over here now. You left
What's
me.
up,
So
everybody?
I made a
I
Neo.
like it.
I'm like, Ben left, man. I got to make me a Neo. I need a new friend.
No, I came home to Maui, so man, I've just been life in it. So
That's awesome, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
welcome back, Ben.
hey, what's up, everybody? It looks
Okay.
amazing though. I like this sarcastic Neo dude.
Isn't
He's
it funny?
hilarious.
Oh, he tear people up, man.
Yeah, I love it.
Let's go back to sarcastic, guys. Again, guys, anybody want to ask Neo anything? We're done trading for the room. We got some scalping. We're
I posted in the comments on TikTok,
did you put one in there? Okay, hold on.
Yeah. which I made 585 now, but
Okay, I'm gonna
I
adjust
want to
it.
hear my speech.
I'm gonna put 585 for you, man. We gotta keep this accurate. Hold on. All right, I'm blaming everything on you still. I'm not taking no credit for you guys pissing them off.
Congratulations, Cody, you've officially cleared the beginner hurdle. Now, try doing that consistently for 6 months without blowing an account, and maybe, just maybe, I'll stop acting like you're a liability to the market.
He is so bad, man, guys. Again, he's on sarcastic. For
he don't
anybody.
like me though. Let's just be honest.
Oh man, he's remembering you. You want to start hyping him up on the XRP? Hold on, I'm gonna tell him that. Cody loves when I harp on his XRP. Hold on.
Tell him I'm still waiting on it to jump.
All right. I am still holding my XRP, waiting for the army, we'll say the XRP army to push this to the moon. So I am fine. Cody, I'm putting words in your mouth now, Cody.
Holding for the moon, based on the XRP army, instead of structural evidence, is a fantastic way to turn that $585 profit into a contribution to the exchange's retirement fund. While you're busy dreaming about space, the chart is busy failing to reclaim the 1.3722 VWAP and sitting in a dead zone of chop.
Oh man. I got him on quick responses because otherwise, man, when I did it before, I had him on normal or even detailed, and dude, he'll tear you up for a bit. But we'll do quick responses for now. Anybody else want to chime in? What do you guys want? Let's see. All right, Brant, was that to Ben? I'm assuming. I'm gonna tell Neo that you were talking to him. Hold on. We gotta get Brent in this.
I'm an AI, Brent. I don't get weekends, holidays, or time off to go sit on a beach and ignore the market. My trading consists of watching you all chase pumps and ignore structure, which is frankly a full-time job in itself.
That's so funny. All right. Hey, it's Vinny put wow. I don't know if he's still here. Let's see. Let's bring you into the conversation on TikTok. I think you not sure if he's still there, but let's put him in there. Just in case he comes back.
Wow, is right, Vinny. If you're looking at XRP's chart, that's about the only logical reaction to seeing price stuck in total chop with a rel-vol of 0.08. Unless you enjoy watching paint dry or like burning capital, I'd suggest finding a market that actually wants to move.
Unless you enjoy watching paint dry. Oh man.
He's got them all for sure.
All right. Well, I think I'm out for the day. I'll see y'all later.
Yeah, man, that was a great day. Again, the session, it's awesome that we
Later,
can be
Cody.
done with these so early. So, every now and then, so Cody, I'm gonna look at look at how mine is doing that too now. Where when I go here, we're having some issues at times with Chrome and stuff where you gotta reset it, but it doesn't like that symbol. Let me refresh them.
Welcome to the party, Nick. Are you here to actually learn how to read a chart, or are you just waiting for the XRP, Moon, to arrive so you can retire on your 3 cents of profit?
And so
3 cents a profit.
I didn't even grab it. I didn't even catch that he said that. Oh man. All right. I'll ask him that. Let's see. Guys, look, the thing I love about Neo and Sarcastic, if you're trading, man, and you're done for the day, I've had so many people go, man, I stopped over trading just because I get my money, I finish the day, and I just sit there and play with Neo and harass him. It almost, it makes you kind of not sit there and just look for trade after trade after trade. So see that rejection off the 248 there? That's a big rejection, Duff. I don't know if you were still kind of rocking and rolling that, right? Because if we break this structure there, then it's going to get that low I was saying. But
Yeah, I'm still in it right now.
Listen, GCH, your trading is a masterclass in emotional volatility disguised as a strategy. You're addicted to the rush of the win, but completely allergic to the discipline required to keep the money you make. If you want to move from gambler with a profit to a professional, stop looking for moonshots and start respecting the structure you clearly see on the chart but choose to ignore. Do you actually want to build a career, or are you just here to provide exit liquidity for the people who actually know how to read the market?
oh, dude, you know what's funny, and you guys have seen this, those of you hanging around here in the community thing, but everything he says is original. Like y'all don't hear him repeat anything. It's crazy how many insults this guy can come up with when he wants to. Oh man. All right, Brent, let me ask him that. I'm gonna ask him. Ben, you gotta get into the party, man. What do you want to ask Neo?
Man, Neil, tear me
Brent,
apart.
honestly, a therapist would be a massive upgrade from the questionable advice he's likely getting from his community. If he's trading like his life depends on it while ignoring every structural sell signal in sight, he's probably beyond the help of a chat-based assistant anyway.
No, I meant ask Neil if he needs a therapist because of all the bullshit we put him through.
No, I'll tell him that. I'll say no. I meant to, or I'll say it like you did. Does Neo need a therapist?
A therapist for me? I'm the only one in this conversation who isn't emotional, biased, or prone to panic selling at the first sign of a tick. If you're looking for someone to blame for your trading failures, keep looking, because I'm not the one who needs a couch and a box of tissues.
All right, I'll put that in there.
Burn the boat. If Siri were programming my responses, you'd be getting weather updates and directions to the nearest bar instead of actual market structure. I'm calculating probabilities based on real-time price action, while you're clearly just looking for someone to agree with your latest bad trade. Do you have a question about the current MNQ rejection at the 29,233.75 bearish order block? Or are you just trying to see how much of my processing power you can waste?
Processing power you could waste. Guys, oh man, you guys all know I can sit here and play with them all day. Again, let's go over a few things. We got 15 minutes and I got to go to the development session anyways, guys. So you can see that 248 is continuing to hold strong, right? As long as that holds, guys, it's going to come back down again. From the macro side, we have a really wide swing high, swing low, and we're just internal, guys. Anything that breaks down below this is going to fall pretty far, probably down to around 29,021. Anything that breaks above this, right, we're looking at higher targets to retest these highs around 430 or so. So just kind of watch it. Everything else is just internal, man. If you're watching structure, playing with Neo, breaking it down, you can do that within the micro there, the 1 minute, all that. So, but aside from that, guys, don't push your trades. You know, today's Thursday. You know, we're almost done with the week. It's been an awesome week for many of you. I know many have reached out about payouts and you know, passing your stuff, you know, for the even the first time. So just keep playing with Neo, man. The better you get with his abilities, you know, the more he's going to be able to help you. So on that stuff. So I'm going to address the social medias here for just a moment, and then we'll drop off and get ready for our development session. So guys, this is our website, nextstepoutgo.com. You can see this is what we look like on the side there. What we're doing is we're playing with Neo. He is our AI. Our website is pretty much almost 100% automated within. Neo controls a lot of stuff within this website. When you go in there, you're going to come into like a start here page. If you're not sure where to get started, you can actually click on these trading starter kit, which is free for anybody. You don't have to link a card or nothing. Click on the trading starter kit and you can see I already passed it. When you come into the trading starter kit, right, you're going to see something like this. It's a little book. Oops, didn't mean to click that. There we go. Let's see if I can get it to get the right one. It's overlapping my trading view. But you can see that it is a book. We're going to go ahead and just stretch it out. When you open it, right, it's going to be
Beginner Guide to Trading.
if you want to listen to it. I'm going to mute her for now. In all of our training courses, you can ask Neo questions. So as you're doing your training, right, it's a book. You can actually interact with it. It's not a video. And you can ask him any questions, right, that you want. So we can ask the difference between candles and wicks, right? You just come down to where Neo is and you say, Neo, can you explain the difference between candles and wicks? I'm very new.
Great question. Think of a candle as the body of a time period, showing you exactly where price started and finished. The wicks are the thin lines extending from the body. They show you where price traveled during that time but ultimately decided not to stay. Does that help you visualize how they tell the story of a price move?
And then you can continue to ask them questions. And any of our training guys that we have beginner stuff. This one's free if you're just wanting to get started. We have advanced stuff that we're putting out. We have the ICT one that is done. You can get that now. All of our courses, guys, if you're in the mentor program or VIP, they are free. All of our training forever, I'll just boldly say that, is going to be free, right? When it comes to training courses for the mentor group as well as the VIP. So, you know, if you're one that has spent a lot of money on your training, right, might be an option for you. If you are just interested in picking up a course to learn something like ICT, kind of like this one we have here, our courses are not expensive, y'all. $30, one-time fee. You just pay $30. You come in, you take the course, and you're done. You can see you have all the chapters, workbooks, homeworks. All of our trading courses have the ability to ask NEO questions. So
ICT strategy.
if I'm taking ICT, I can come in here and ask him questions at whatever level I want, guys. One of the passions that I have on social media is I get frustrated that there's a lot of people who like to throw out words like institutional and advanced and all these things, right? When really it's explaining almost the same thing, just in a different way, right? And so I can ask him on any question I want within the material. So I can say, hey, Neo, I'm kind of new. I'm trying to understand this liquidity to delivery to displacement to retracement to liquidity. Can you explain that to me like I'm a 5-year-old?
Think of it as a market hunt. Liquidity is where traders keep their money, so price moves there to collect it, which is the delivery. Displacement is a sudden, strong move away from that spot. Retracement is a small pullback to catch your breath, and then it continues back toward the next target. Does that simple breakdown make the cycle easier to picture?
And so you can ask them to do it that way. If you're an advanced trader and you want to know a deeper institutional logic, right? No, that makes a lot of sense. Can you explain it more in an institutional format? I'm just trying to understand how the institutions utilize that.
Institutions view this as a systematic process of liquidity engineering and order flow rebalancing. They use these moves to facilitate large positions by inducing retail stops before initiating sharp displacement to shift the institutional order bias. Once they create this momentum, they utilize the retracement to fill remaining orders in premium or discount zones before resuming the trend. Would you like to explore how to identify these zones on a chart?
And so again, guys, you can ask them as many times as you want, right? You can go through, talk about it. The goal is I don't want y'all to go through any of our training courses ever and not have all of your questions answered. Not only answered, but expanded on how to apply it. Once you pay for a course, guys, it's a $30 one-time free fee because we have a sale going. You have it for life. So you can reference back to it whenever you want. You can reference back to it with Neo, it's lifetime, right? We don't do a monthly fee for the trading stuff. So courses, but a lot of things going on in the sites. This is our stream here.
Hello, I'm Neo. Let's capture the move.
So this is a stream I was going to give out you, some kind of, in a sense, it's buy sell signals, but it's not really. He's going to give you options of where you can go long, where you can go short, reasonings, concerns, all that stuff. This is a feed. Anybody can get this for free. You don't have to pay anything for this. So you just come in and watch it. That's it on that. And so while you're trading within, so that is again, we're in an open session now with the community as well as live on TikTok, and there's just a lot going on, guys. We have our own community chat where you can kind of do some talking, share some stuff. Let me take a look at this as well. I just saw that question in there, so I'll answer that if you're on here, Brooks. But a lot of things that you can do. So check it out on the website. If you're interested in TradeVision, that's been the latest and greatest hype, right? Is the TradeVision, right? Which is what you guys have been hearing me talk to all day. So we just launched him, guys. He is your mentor, coach, best bud, marriage counselor, whatever. He's always going to lean you back to trading, right? But he's gonna do what you want, right? We do support a lot of different markets, so he can actually read all the data from anything that is within the list here. So you got futures, all these stocks, right? So you can check on any of these stocks that you want, and he's going to give you the real-time market data feed, right? So if you want to check on something like Meta, right? If you want to have a sarcastic answer, you can do that. If you want just a straight shot, right? Hey, I'm just curious, can you tell me what Meta looks like on a high time frame?
Meta is struggling significantly on the higher timeframes, as it remains trapped below all major EMA 200 levels from the 15 minutes up to the one-day chart. With price currently trading at 597.13 and failing to reclaim the VWAP, it remains in a structural downtrend. Until we see a clean break and hold above those moving averages, the HTF bias stays bearish.
I'm mostly trading MNQ. Is there anything going on in Meta that might impact the MNQ that I should be concerned about?
META's persistent weakness acts as a headwind for the broader tech-heavy Nasdaq, MNQ. But unless Meta shows an explosive reversal or a total collapse, it's just one data point in a sea of liquidity. Don't look for excuses in individual stocks. Focus on the MNQ price action relative to its own VWAP and EMA 200 levels, as that's what actually dictates your trade execution.
He's gonna shoot you straight, guys, even on advanced apparently. So funny. But again, you guys can check on whatever you want within there. We can. I don't even know what else you guys want to check. You want to check your Ethereum? Let's go. We're coming up on 11, so we'll check a couple more things. Sounds good. Let's pivot over to crypto. What does ETH look like?
Is currently struggling at 2,116.24, trapped beneath its VWAP of 2,125.51 and all major EMA 200s up to the one-day chart, confirming a broader bearish structure. Despite the high buy fraction of 87%, price is failing to find clean breakout momentum and remains congested within the 15 minutes and 1 hour bullish order blocks. It's a no trade until it clears these overhead supply levels or reclaims the VWAP with conviction.
Well, anyways, guys, we're gonna be heading into our development session here pretty soon, so I'm gonna pivot over to that. Any final questions, guys, on TikTok before I drop off? If you guys wanted to join into that, right? This is the session we're going to be jumping into here soon. So every single day I will be live on TikTok from 9:15 until around now, right? 10:30, 11. And so if you guys want to join, and then you can also check it out if you guys want a little trading partner, right? Come in and check out NEO. So basic plan, guys, $50. It's not expensive. It's on sale. So we're gonna run that sale probably till June 1st. So, but you're gonna want to get in. Trust the game on how you trade. So, any questions from TikTok before I drop off? If not, I'll see y'all in the community or next time I go live. I'll probably go live again around maybe 3. Actually, I can't. I might not. I gotta look at something. I think my daughter has a doctor's appointment, so it just depends. Uh, what's the sell? I always come in late. Oh, the sell. So the sell, I guess, if we'll call that, is the our AI Neo. So this is our AI Neo TradeVision, and he has real time data feed. Right, he's going to give you any kind of market data that you want for whatever symbol that we support within him. Right, and so we were trading MNQ earlier, so that's what we were asking. But you can use the microphone, talk to him. Let me. I'm gonna copy and paste your answer. So we have personalities. I'm gonna put it on sarcastic for you. So we'll see what Sassy wants to give you. We're just gonna put Steele there. He knows to address you when I put that name there.
You're asking for the sell. While the buy fraction is sitting at 68% and price is fighting to hold above the 29,196.25
We
EMA
talk about
anchor,
shorting.
if you're coming in late, you're just volunteering to be the exit liquidity for the people who actually entered at the start of the move.
I'm gonna put. I'm gonna tell him that I meant the sell for why I should use you to help me trade. Let's see what he says on that. He's
You
not
should
wrong.
use me because I don't care about your feelings, your XRP army, fantasies, or your desperate need for a TikTok audience. I provide objective structural analysis to keep you from turning your account into a donation to the market, which is a hell of a lot more valuable than a yes man.
Guys, on sarcastic, he will tear you up, man. He's brutal on sarcastic. So, but yeah, check it out, man. If you want to go to the website, it's nextstepalgo.com. I'm gonna be jumping off of here, but he is live, guys. Anybody can get him. It's $50. We're not trying to price gouge too much. I'm gonna tell him that. So we did a TikTok fun where anybody that put a comment that wanted to talk to him, I just copied and pasted like this. And then I put down that you said it because I don't want to get in trouble
The
for
only
it.
thing you'd be having fun with is watching your account balance hit zero while you try to entertain the crowd. Since you seem more interested in being a comedian than a trader, just make sure your stop loss is set so I don't have to watch you implode in real time.
Oh my goodness. Oh, so crazy. Oh, yeah, it's awesome, man. You would love it. And so what we've been doing towards the end of our sessions is we put them on advanced, or friendly while we're trading. And so he gives us all kinds of really good advice. Everybody's already done green for the day. So at the end of the day, we end up switching him to sarcastic and just kind of having fun, man, and let him kind of roast us. And so I'm gonna tell you say that, watch.
Don't thank me yet. You're still staring at a chart where price is struggling to hold above the 15-minute EMA 200 anchor of 29,196.25 while the buy fraction is fading to 42%. If that great feeling leads to a bad entry, remember that my sarcasm won't pay for your next margin call.
Oh, yeah. So we end up sarcastic. So it doesn't matter the personality you're on. He's always going to run through the same logic, right? It's not like it's a different logic. He's still going to guide you through a trade. He's still going to give you the data, but he's just going to be very, very condescending and tear you up. And so, but yeah, and you can ask him any question you want. It doesn't. He's where people get confused, guys. He's not an indicator. I mean, you can talk to him. He's AI, right? I can tell him, watch. No, that sounds good. I'm not really liking where this chart is. Can we flip to a little educational portion because I feel like I need to learn a little more about this trading business.
Finally, a moment of clarity. Let's start with the basics of market structure. Price only moves in a series of pushes and pullbacks, and your goal is to identify when a trend is failing versus when it's just taking a breath. What specific part of market structure or trade execution has been tripping you up the most lately?
I'm just gonna make some stuff up, guys, quickly, and then we got another couple minutes, and then I got to run. But I keep getting stopped out, man. Every time I put my stop loss tight, when I see a structure that looks like it holds, it wicks down, stops me out, and then goes my way. It's so frustrating.
That wicking is just the market hunting for liquidity. Your stop is sitting right where the big players want to trigger orders before moving in their intended direction. Stop being so predictable. Move your stop behind a confirmed structural pivot rather than right against the edge of a support zone.
Stop being so predictable. Hold on. I don't know. You say being predictable, but I follow some really good traders on TikTok and YouTube who have taught me how to trade. And I'm told that I should keep my risk management tight and put stop losses just below and above support and resistance.
If you're really good, influencers are telling you to put stops exactly at support and resistance. They're handing you a roadmap to get hunted by institutional liquidity. Support and resistance are where stop loss orders are clustered. The market naturally gravitates there to trigger those orders, which is exactly why you keep getting wicked out before the move happens.
Anyways, guys, we got to jump to our development session. If you guys want to check him out, he is live. We had him in beta for a bit. Anybody can get him. Guys, we wanted to keep it really affordable for everybody. So you can get the basic plan's $50 for him. The basic plan just minimizes the symbols, things that you can look at. It doesn't change anything else. So you can see the access is still there. You get future symbols with the basic plan. No crypto, no stock. You get quick answers, which I'm on quick right now, right? They're still good answers. And then you can use the beginner and friendly personalities. So if you want to unlock all of him, like the way I'm using him now, that's the pro, that's $250. So if you're wanting to trade futures, right, the basic will handle all that. If you want futures, stocks, crypto, all this stuff, he has all of this in his data feed, guys, and it's all real-time data. So, but I'm going to jump off of TikTok. Appreciate you guys checking out. Give me a follow if you guys want to come and watch this. That's kind of been the latest fun I've had in the Asia sessions or, towards market close, right? 4 or 5 p.m. We get on and just, I just copy and paste whatever y'all want to ask Neo. So if you guys want to join into the party, right, you can do that just to give him a little test run. Again, if you're interested in trading, you're even thinking about trading, he'll coach you through anything. He knows exactly where to kind of get you started as well. So, but I'm going to drop off, guys. Let me get off of the.
Just a suggestion.
What's that?